God says, this person in heaven left you a message last night. Michael pleaded for you to read it today. He called your name through the silence. You may not have heard it with your ears, but heaven surely did. When it comes to divine timing, nothing is accidental. And this very moment you're in, yes, this exact one, was marked long before your eyes even opened today. Since last night, Archangel Michael has lingered near your energy, gently whispering your name into the stillness, hoping you'd notice that strange pull in your chest, that nudge in your heart, like something unseen was calling for you. And now here you are. Think this message found you by coincidence, think again. The soul who left this message for you, the one you ache for, the one whose absence has shaped your days, has been trying to reach you. Archangel Michael, moved by love, wept for you, yes, he wept. And when he cried your name, the heavens echoed with the sound. Though your ears may not have caught it, your spirit surely did. That tightness behind your eyes, that lump in your throat, that came out of nowhere. That wasn't random, that's the divine knocking on the door of your soul. Because there is something important you must understand, and there isn't much time. Heaven isn't some distant place floating in the skies, it's much closer than we often believe, just a whisper past your next breath. And from that sacred place, someone who once held your hand, someone who laughed with you, and left far too soon, sent this to you. They see what's unfolding in your life, they notice the battle behind your brave smile, the pain you never speak of. And tonight, yes tonight, something is shifting around you. Archangel Michael was called forth, because the sorrow in your spirit reached a level, heaven could no longer ignore. When the soul is burdened and exhausted, heaven steps in. And Michael only appears when it truly matters. Are you listening now, because what's coming next may alter the way you see everything around you? You've been carrying something incredibly heavy, haven't you? Some days it feels like you're dragging stone behind your heart. You smile because it's expected, you nod because it's polite, but deep within there's an ache that lingers. Sometimes you don't even know what you're mourning anymore. Is it a person, a former version of yourself, or maybe a dream that never got to bloom? But heaven knows, and the one who delivered this message, they spoke to Michael, in a language only angels understand. They said, please let them know I'm still near. And Michael heard them, his wings stirred the heavens, his blade of light pointed straight in your direction. And now he stands with you. He brings a message wrapped in divine light. He says, I bring you truth, I bring you clarity, I bring you divine protection. And this is what you need to hear, you have never been forgotten. Even in moments where you feel unseen, when your prayers seem to vanish into silence, when you're lying awake staring at the ceiling, and wondering if anyone truly hears you, they do. Heaven does. Archangel Michael says, you've been watched over your entire life. All the times you cried yourself to sleep as a child, heaven remembers. Every moment you felt invisible, and wished you could vanish, heaven took note. You didn't endure all of that pain, just to be abandoned now. This is not the end of your story. That's exactly why this message has found you at this precise moment, not earlier, not later, but now. Can you feel it, that stir in your chest? That's your soul awakening. It's remembering something deep, something ancient, a plan, a promise, a divine purpose. Michael says, signs have surrounded you for so long, feathers where you least expected them, recurring numbers, dreams that felt more real than the daylight, lights flickering when no one else was around. You thought that was just coincidence. No, beloved, that's not chance, that's divine surveillance. That's how the heavens keep watch, and the one you long for, they've been closer than your own shadow. Just last night, they reached across time and space. They sent a message sealed in pure light 2211, and when Michael opened it, your name glowed within. He saw your strength through the tears, he saw the bravery in your quiet endurance, and he knew this message had to reach you now. So listen with care, something in your life is about to change. This isn't a warning to fear, it's a signal to prepare. Tonight something may return to test you, a memory, a fear, a shadow from your past. But don't be afraid, this time you won't face it alone. Heaven will be beside you. You may feel warmth in the room, a flickering of light, the sudden sense that someone just entered, though no one's there. That's not imagination, that's Michael doing what he was made to do, protecting you even when you don't know you need it. The one you lost, the one who left this world far too soon, called on Michael, because they see what lies ahead. They don't want you to go through it without support. If this message is touching something deep within you, take a moment to breathe it in. You were meant to receive it. This isn't entertainment, it's intervention, divine, timely, real. Michael says, your life has been full of almosts, almost happy, almost healed, almost loved the way you were meant to be. But those days are coming to an end. The time for clarity and divine justice has arrived. Someone took something from you, maybe your peace, maybe your worth, and believed they'd never be held accountable. But the heavens were watching, and the winds of justice have started to stir. Michael says that what was taken is being returned, not just material things, but deeper gifts, peace of mind, understanding, resolution, and the ability to truly feel joy again. It's your spiritual inheritance. But you must remain open, stay grounded, because sometimes blessings come dressed as disruptions. Sometimes what leaves your life is simply clearing the way, for what your soul has been crying out for. Right now someone is looking out for you, yes, even now as you take in these words, you might sense a chill on your skin, or warmth brushing your shoulder. Maybe a wave of emotion catches you by surprise. That's them, they've heard every prayer. Even the frustrated ones, even the ones whispered in anger. They never left you, they simply stepped behind the veil. And from that sacred place, they've made sure you'd read this. Because it's time you remembered who you are, and who walks with you still. But they're still beside you, they still walk with you, they still guard you, when you forget how sacred your soul truly is. And yes, they still cry for you, especially in the moments when you forget your worth. Archangel Michael says again, your life has been a long string of almosts, almost joyful, almost steady, almost loved the way you were meant to be. But no more almosts. This is the time for alignment, for honesty, for divine balance to be restored. Something was taken from you long ago, something sacred, and those who took it believed they would never be seen. But heaven was watching, and now the winds of justice are stirring. Michael says what's been taken is already on its way back to you, not just in physical form, but in spirit, peace, understanding, the closure you never received, and that deep glowing joy you thought was gone forever. This is your sacred birthright. But to receive it you must remain open, stay here, stay present. Because sometimes the greatest blessings arrive hidden inside disruption. Sometimes the things that exit your life are only making room for what your soul has cried out for in silence. Right now there is a presence watching over you. Yes, even in this moment as you read, maybe you feel a sudden brush of air on your skin, a warmth on your neck, or tears that came out of nowhere. That's not just emotion, that's connection, that's them. The one who's been with you all along. They've listened to your prayers, even the frustrated ones whispered in the dark, even the desperate ones you weren't sure anyone heard. They never truly left you, they only stepped beyond the curtain of this world. But their spirit still lingers beside yours, still shields you, still mourns with you, when you forget how much light you carry. Archangel Michael needs you to understand this fully. Please listen, truly hear this. You are not an accident, you're not behind, you're not broken beyond repair. There is light waiting for you to open the door. And even in the moments when you wanted to let go, you didn't. That's proof that you're chosen. That's how I know this message had to reach you now. So stay with me, don't scroll away, not this time. Archangel Michael remains here, standing quietly in the space between words and breath. His arrival doesn't shake walls, it stirs hearts. He speaks through what you feel, not what you hear. And you feel it now, don't you? That slight tremble in your chest, as if your soul is waking up to a truth it forgot it knew. You're not imagining it, this is sacred, you've stepped into a divine moment, written long before you even asked for one. And while you're still here, the atmosphere around you is being rewritten. What was once unbearable is being lifted. What was shattered is remembering how to become whole. Michael is calling your name again, slowly, tenderly, like a prayer wrapped in golden firelight. Do you know why? Because life got so noisy, you forgot your own name. You've been called many things by others, too soft, too much, not enough, too quiet. But heaven only calls you one thing, chosen, precious, divine. The day you were born, the angels celebrated, because they knew this one brings light. And yes, the world tried to snuff it out. People who should have loved you, caused harm instead. You've carried the burden of wounds, that were never even yours to bear. You've worn shame, that didn't belong to you. But now hear this clearly, Michael says it's time to lay all of it down. You were never supposed to carry it in the first place. That chapter ends tonight. The weight you've been carrying is loosening its grip. And even if it doesn't disappear all at once, you'll breathe a bit lighter, sleep more peacefully. The fear will slowly melt. That's how healing begins, not as thunder, but like the early morning sun creeping through heavy curtains. And if you've ever wondered if you were cursed, know this, you weren't. But yes, you were spiritually attacked, because your light was too powerful to go unnoticed. Michael explains, you've been surrounded by energy that wasn't yours, shadows clinging to your light, thoughts that tried to convince you were less than divine. And now he's cutting every one of those cords. Even if your mind still questions, even if you're tired and unsure, remain with this message. Let it wash over you, let it restore what was lost. Because there's power in simply being willing. There's something few understand, when Archangel Michael enters a space, it's not just to soothe, it's to go to battle for your peace. That's what's happening now. He's reclaiming what was always yours, the creativity that was buried, the love you used to give so freely, the dream that once made your eyes light up, before pain told you to forget it. He sees every part of it, and each moment you stay present, his sword is breaking through the lies you've accepted for far too long. You were never invisible, never too broken, never late. You were simply waiting to remember what your soul has always known. And now that remembrance is unfolding, the one who asked heaven to send you this message, the one who knew you when your heart was full and your laughter was free, they've seen the fragility behind your strength. They saw when you smiled while secretly falling apart, they felt your quiet despair, when you returned home to silence. You've been holding it together, while feeling like you're falling apart. But they noticed, the one who once held your hand, the one who left this world, loving you more than words could hold, they haven't gone far. You just forgot how to hear them. But Michael is bringing their presence back, through this divine language of remembrance, not in spoken words, but through energy, feeling, and sacred awareness. Every tear falling now, every chill brushing your skin, is part of that connection being restored. Your soul is remembering what the noise of the world made you forget. You are protected, you are wrapped in love that death could not destroy. And yes, they are still proud of you. I know no one says it enough, so let me. I'm proud of you, not just because you're still standing, but because of the way you love. The way you forgive without apology, the way you try again, even when your spirit is worn thin. The way you remain gentle, in a world that often rewards cruelty. Heaven sees it, Michael sees it, and he says this with power. Your gentleness is your superpower. The world lied to you, when it made you believe it was weakness. You don't realize how many lives you've touched, how many hearts have felt safe, because of your presence. Even when you thought no one was paying attention, they were. Even when you felt unseen, even when the world ignored your light, you radiated in ways that can't be captured by numbers, likes, or applause. And someone whose life you touched, maybe without even knowing, spoke your name in a quiet prayer, asking heaven to shield you. That prayer didn't go unnoticed, Archangel Michael received it, he always moves on behalf of those, who move through the world with kindness. That's you, that's why this message was carved into the stars, long before your first breath. And now heaven is getting ready to shift something for you. But it's not just about healing, not just a miracle dropping in, no, this is something deeper. A reversal, a turning point so big, it will change how you carry everything. And yes, they are proud of you, you don't hear that nearly enough, do you? But I'm proud of you, proud of the way you keep loving with a soft heart. Of the way you forgive people, who never even said they were sorry. Of the way you keep choosing to get up each day, even after nights that left you feeling hollow. Of how you hold gentleness close, in a world that often praises hardness. And heaven sees it all, Michael sees it, he says, your tenderness has never been weakness, it's been your greatest power all along. The world misled you. You have no idea how many lives you've touched, how many people felt seen, because of your presence. Even in moments you felt invisible, even when it seemed like you didn't matter, you did, you do. Someone you helped quietly, sent your name up to heaven, and heaven responded. That's how this message began, why it's been traveling through space and time, just to find you now. You were always meant to hear this. Because something is shifting. It's not only healing that's coming, it's divine change. Not a momentary blessing, but a complete turning of the tide. The season of delay is closing. Those tears you wept behind closed doors are about to bloom into visible, undeniable joy. That financial weight you've carried in silence, the one you were too ashamed to speak of. There's provision coming, a breakthrough that will make sense of every closed door. That heartbreak that made you question your worth. You'll begin to understand why it shattered, and you'll witness someone new arriving, someone who brings peace instead of confusion. It may not line up with your current expectations, but trust this, heaven is never off time, only perfectly timed. And right now, Archangel Michael is repositioning your life for restoration. But this is the part where fear might creep in. And that's no coincidence. Just before your breakthrough, the enemy sends distractions, exhaustion, self-doubt, conflict, a wave of unworthiness. Don't be fooled, this is the final test before everything shifts. Just stay grounded, take a breath, and speak these words aloud, even if your voice shakes. I am protected, I am surrounded, I am chosen. Because you are. Michael is already here, standing strong at the edge of your energy. Arms folded, wings wide, sword aglow. No force formed against you will succeed, heaven will not allow it. You've been tucked away in silence, for what felt like forever, but that silence wasn't rejection, it was divine concealment. Your soul was being protected, from those who might have stolen your light, before it had a chance to fully rise. But now the veil is lifting, can you feel it? Like a key finally clicking into place, like a door gently swinging open. What you thought was gone forever, is returning, but better, stronger, aligned with heaven's purpose. That's the message Michael carries, and your only role now, is to stay open enough to receive it. Let this truth rest with you tonight. Don't scroll past it like another post. Don't shrug this off like coincidence. Go back, rewatch, reread, reopen that heart. You needed this reminder, of your sacred place in this world. You are not overlooked, you are not at the end, and you are certainly not alone. The boundary between heaven and earth is paper thin in this moment. The space between here and there is so narrow, that if you close your eyes, you might just feel the breath of heaven brushing your skin. Archangel Michael hasn't left, he's still here, holding vigil, as you absorb what your soul's been needing to hear. And the one who loved you beyond words, the one who spoke your name while you slept, they're here too. Not just as a memory, not just a flicker of dream, but as presence, as spirit, as love that refuses to leave. They've been trying to reach you all along. In the songs that come on, when you're thinking of them, in the feathers that show up out of nowhere, in the scent, vanilla, old books, that cologne, suddenly surrounding you, then fading again. These aren't coincidences, these are echoes, sacred signals. And this message, this is their clearest echo yet. They know what you've been carrying, they've felt your pain, the pain you don't show, the ache you hide behind your strength. You carry it like a quiet storm. But Michael, he recognizes storms, he walks into them, with divine fire and unwavering love. He sees the cracks, the scars, and he calls them sacred, not shameful. Do you understand now? The very things you believed disqualified you from happiness, your brokenness, your heartbreak, your grief, those are the very things that make you chosen. Because only cracked hearts let divine light pour through. So let that settle in, let yourself cry if you need to. Those tears, they're sacred, they're not weakness, they're the soul's way of cleansing, they're a signal from heaven, that your heart is still soft enough to feel, and strong enough to rise. Your light never left you, you only forgot how brilliantly it shines. Michael says, something is about to be uncovered. A truth, a hidden knowing, a moment of clarity, that brings everything into focus. You'll understand why things didn't go the way you begged for them to, why certain doors slammed shut, why some people walked away, why you were paused, when you only wanted to move forward. It's all been leading to this divine moment. A grand unveiling. And when it arrives, you'll feel like you can finally exhale, the breath you didn't realize you've been holding for years. But right now, here's what matters most: don't shut down, don't numb out, don't ignore the pressure rising in your chest. That's your soul thawing. You've been frozen in survival mode, but heaven is warming you again. It's safe now, safe to hope, safe to imagine, safe to believe. Michael is clearing the path ahead. And where there's been fog, there will be clarity. Where chaos ruled, peace is moving in. Where loss broke you, renewal is forming. And what's returning to your life, will arrive in ways you never expected. You might get a message that catches you completely off guard. Yes, say it, even if your voice shakes, say it, even if you're scared, say it with trembling faith, because that's all heaven needs. A whisper of willingness, a crack in the armor, a flicker of belief, that maybe, just maybe, you're meant for more than what tried to break you. Michael is still speaking, not through thunder, but through this stillness you're sitting in right now. That hush around your heart, that's not emptiness, that's space being cleared, for something sacred. This is the pause before the bloom, the inhale before destiny exhales. You're not late, you're right on time. And everything that seemed delayed, was actually protecting you. The rejection, redirection. The closed doors, divine reroutes. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. Your prayers didn't fall on deaf ears, they fell into divine soil. And seeds buried in faith, always bloom in miracle. Even now, Michael is moving, he's turning what was meant for harm into healing, he's gathering the shattered pieces, and reforging them with light. Every why you've cried, is being answered in love, not all at once, but in ways your soul will recognize, in synchronicities, in the words of strangers, in quiet moments that somehow feel sacred. The ache in your chest isn't something wrong, it's something real. It's your heart stretching, to make room for joy again. Let it come slowly if it must, let it be soft. You don't have to rush healing, you only have to stop resisting it. You've been so strong for so long, holding others, saving everyone else. But now it's your turn, let yourself be held, let yourself be saved. The same way you've poured into others, it's time to be poured into. You're not selfish for needing rest, you're not weak for needing help, you're human, and you're divine, both, always both. Michael sees how tired you are, tired of pretending, tired of hoping, tired of trying to smile through the storm. He wants you to know, it's okay to fall apart. It's wholly even, because in that falling, you're making space for heaven to catch you. And you will be caught, you already are. There's a shift happening deep inside you, You may not have words for it, but you can feel it, a soft turning. A sacred unraveling of who you thought you had to be, making space for who you really are. And who you are is someone chosen, not by accident, not by mistake, but by divine design. Michael is whispering now, not because the message is small, but because it's sacred. And sacred things are never shouted. He's saying, you're allowed to bloom even after winter, you're allowed to love again even after loss, you're allowed to laugh again even after grief. That's not betrayal to your pain, that's reverence to your resilience. You've spent years thinking joy was something you had to earn. But it's your birthright, it was woven into your soul, the moment you arrived here. And yes, life has tried to steal it, yes, pain tried to bury it, but it's still there, still glowing, still waiting for you to remember. Heaven never forgot, Michael never left, the light never went out. It just got buried under survival. And now it's time to uncover it, not with force, not with striving, but with surrender, with softness, with stillness. Let yourself believe again, even if it's just a flicker, even if it's fragile, even if your faith is only the size of a breath. That's enough, heaven can work with that, Michael can move mountains with that. And when the signs begin to show, and they will, you'll know they're not coincidences. You'll know they're confirmations. That number that repeats, that stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear, that dream that felt more like a message than a memory. All of it is part of the divine conversation, happening around you. This isn't a story of endings, it's a story of resurrection. The dreams you buried, they're not dead, they're sleeping. And heaven is breathing on them now. You'll feel it in moments that catch your breath, in a peace that doesn't make sense, in a courage that wasn't there before. And when it rises, when you rise, don't question it, don't sabotage it, don't shrink to make others comfortable. You were never meant to stay small, you were born to radiate, to take up space, to shift rooms just by walking into them. That's not pride, that's purpose. You'll begin to notice a return of power. Not the loud aggressive kind, but the sacred kind. The quiet knowing, the steady trust, the unshakable peace that comes from knowing who walks beside you. That's Michael, that's divine alignment. And as you begin to embody this truth, others will notice. They'll feel it before they understand it. Some will be drawn to you, some may fall away. Let them, don't chase, don't convince, you're not meant to dim your light, for those who fear their own. You were never here to fit in, you were here to awaken others, by awakening yourself. Your light is a signal, a lighthouse for the ones, who are still lost in their storms. And you don't need to be perfect to be a guide, you just need to be real. Michael says this next season is not about striving, it's about surrender. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about remembering you were never broken. It's not about proving your worth, it's about living from the truth, that you've always been worthy. And when doubt comes, and it will, when fear whispers again, and it will, return to this moment, to this truth. You are not walking alone, you never were. The hands you can't see are holding you, the love you can't explain is surrounding you. This is holy ground you're standing on, not because of where you are, but because of what's awakening inside you. And that awakening is unstoppable now. Keep walking forward, even if your steps are slow, even if your voice still shakes. Keep going, because what's ahead of you is not just healing, it's rebirth. What's ahead is not just restoration, it's transformation. And you're ready, more ready than you know. Because even in your pain, even in your questions, you stayed open, you stayed soft, you stayed you. And that is the bravest thing a soul can do. The aching, the grief, they were never signs of weakness. They were sacred signals that your soul was alive, that it still cared, still hoped, still yearned for something more. And heaven responded, Archangel Michael moved because of them, not in pity, but in reverence. Because only a soul brave enough to feel that deeply, is worthy of the kind of breakthrough that's coming. So if today still feels heavy, if tomorrow feels uncertain, let that be okay. You don't have to pretend to be fearless to be faithful. You only have to be willing. Willing to keep walking, willing to keep showing up, willing to let love reach the parts of you that have gone quiet. That willingness is holy, that softness is strength, and heaven counts it as enough. There are promises circling above your life right now, divine answers waiting for your alignment. They're not delayed because you're broken, they're delayed because they're being refined. So that when they come, they fit you perfectly. No settling, no compromise, only what matches the truth of who you're becoming. That's the level Archangel Michael is operating on now: precision, restoration, alignment. And in the quiet moments between now and then, you'll feel it. A subtle shift, like a door slowly creaking open, like a breeze entering a room long sealed shut. That's heaven re-entering the spaces in your life, where you've grown numb, where you stopped expecting beauty. But beauty is returning, not in the form of what was lost, but in what's being reimagined just for you. You'll start to crave different things: softer mornings, honest conversations, peace instead of chaos, depth over distraction. That's not just personal growth, that's your soul coming home to itself. And as you begin to rise into this next season, your very presence will shift the atmosphere. Not by force, but by frequency, not by noise, but by light. The people meant for you will recognize this new vibration, they'll feel seen by it, healed by it, drawn to it. And the ones not meant for your path anymore, they'll drift, and you won't need to chase. You'll bless them silently, and keep walking. That's not bitterness, that's wisdom, that's you finally understanding, your worth doesn't come from who stays, but from the love you carry no matter what. And Archangel Michael, he's already ahead of you, clearing paths, closing wrong doors, softening hearts, opening divine opportunities. You may not see it all yet, but that's the point. This part of the journey is walked by faith, not sight, and your faith, even trembling, is building bridges to places your feet haven't touched yet. So breathe, not just with your lungs, but with your soul. Let every inhale be a declaration: I'm still here, I'm still open, I still believe. And let heaven respond in kind, because it will, it already is. You were never forgotten, you were never behind. You've been held in a kind of holy waiting, where the timing is being divinely woven, not delayed. And when the release comes, because it will, you won't just step into it, you'll be ready for it, you'll recognize it, you'll feel it in your bones. A homecoming, a remembering, a restoration that touches every corner of your life. And in that moment, you'll understand why the wait was long, why the detour mattered, why you had to be broken in certain ways, so the light could get in. Because now you won't just receive your blessings, you'll carry them with reverence, you'll share them, you'll multiply them, you'll speak life into others, the way heaven just spoke life into you. Let this be your confirmation, let it be your turning point, your realignment with what was written for you, before you ever got lost, before the heartbreak, before the silence, before the sorrow. You've always been destined to find your way back, to this place, this awareness, this peace, this inner knowing, that no matter what's happened, you're not disqualified, you're not too late, you are still chosen. And chosen souls don't need to prove their worth. They don't need to hustle for validation, or beg for love. They only need to remember, to realign, to rise. So rise. Even if your hands are shaking, even if you don't have the full vision yet, even if your past tries to whisper that you're not ready. You are, and the parts of you that feel unsure, Michael's already holding those, already lifting them, already surrounding you with legions of light. You are wrapped in divine protection, surrounded by unseen grace, covered by love that has never stopped flowing in your direction. And as you rest tonight, or maybe as you cry, or just sit in stillness, know this, you're not being ignored, you're being prepared. For something so big, so holy, so beautiful, it couldn't arrive, until you became this version of you. The version that doesn't run, that doesn't shrink, that doesn't give up. So don't give up. There's a dawn rising, just beyond the night, you thought might never end. And when it breaks, it will change everything, not because it makes you new, but because it helps you remember, you already are. Now let the message finish its work, let it echo in your soul, as long as it needs to. Don't rush away from it, don't explain it away as coincidence. This was divinely timed, delivered on schedule, heard by the very part of you that needed it most. So breathe again, and this time feel the peace staying with you, feel the weight lifting, feel the old timelines releasing. You're not going back, you're going forward, softly, steadily, powerfully. And Michael, he's still here, sword lowered, wings open, eyes on you. Not as a warrior for a stranger, but as one assigned to your soul, since the beginning. You're safe now. You're loved now. You're free now. And the miracle, it's not just coming, it's already begun. Yes, I'm still here, and I'm still willing. That whisper from your soul, quiet as it may be, is thunder in the heavens. It's a signal, a divine vibration, that moves through realms, seen and unseen, telling the universe that you haven't given up. That you're still choosing love, that you're still holding on to the thread of something greater, even if your hands shake while holding it. Archangel Michael leans closer when he hears that, not because you need to prove anything to him, but because you've already proven everything through your survival. Through the way you kept your heart open, even when it was bruised, through the way you got up again, even when you didn't know why. That is sacred, that is strength, that is the mark of a soul chosen for something more. So if your heart feels heavy now, let the emotion rise, let the tears come if they must. You're not breaking, you're releasing. You're making space for what's next, space for what's been waiting, on the other side of all this ache. And Michael is already there, standing at the threshold of your next chapter, holding the door open with a quiet nod, saying you're ready. You may not feel ready, but readiness in the spiritual sense, has never been about certainty. It's always been about willingness, the willingness to keep walking, the willingness to open your hands, even after loss, the willingness to hear the whisper, and follow it anyway. That is what heaven responds to, that is what opens the floodgates of divine movement. So pause now, let your breath become your prayer, let your silence become your offering. There's no need to figure everything out tonight, no pressure to fix or force or understand. Just be still, just be here. Let the divine wrap around you like a blanket, woven from every angelic promise ever spoken over your life. You are not waiting anymore, you are arriving. And as you arrive, watch how the old weight starts to slide off your shoulders. Not because everything is suddenly perfect, but because something has shifted. You've shifted, you've aligned. And now the help you thought would never come, is moving toward you. The peace you forgot how to ask for, is finding you again. The version of you that was buried beneath survival, is rising to the surface, with clarity in her eyes, and fire in her bones. Archangel Michael is still with you, still walking ahead, still whispering through the wind. Look how far you've come. You don't have to look like a miracle to be one, you don't have to have all the answers to be on the right path, you don't have to feel strong to be considered powerful. You only have to keep showing up, with your trembling hands, with your tired heart, with your uncertain steps. Heaven counts that as faith. And while you've been counting time, and setbacks, and missed opportunities, the divine has been counting your courage, your persistence, your resilience. Every unseen victory, every moment you chose love, when bitterness would have been easier, every time you said yes to life, when despair whispered no. That's what matters now, that's what heaven honors. You didn't just survive, you softened, you opened, you bloomed through the cracks. And now the energy around you is shifting, to reflect that. Watch for it, in the synchronicities, in the gentle moments, in the words of a stranger, in the quiet peace that visits for no apparent reason. These are not coincidences, these are confirmations, proof that your yes was heard, that your path is protected, that your soul is being led, not lost. And the one who left that message for you, on the other side, they're still here too. They're standing in the light, watching with pride, whispering blessings over your name. You may not hear them clearly yet, but their voice is in every breakthrough, their love is stitched into every answered prayer, their presence is woven into the very fabric of your healing. So when the night feels long again, and the doubt creeps in like fog, come back to this moment. Remember who stood with you, when you could barely stand, remember who called you by your true name, when the world only saw your wounds, remember who carried this message across dimensions, just to remind you, you were never forgotten. You were never too far gone, you were never too broken to be chosen. In fact, it was your brokenness that became the altar, the holy ground where something new was born. And now, with Michael by your side, you rise from that sacred place, not as someone who's trying to find the light, but as someone who is the light. A living flame, a soul on fire with purpose. Let that truth take root, let it echo in your bones, let it rewrite the parts of you, that once believed you had to earn your worth. You don't, you never did. You are worthy because you are, because you breathe, because you've loved, because you've stayed. That is enough, that has always been enough. So walk now in peace. Not the fragile kind, that breaks with the first storm, but the deep kind. The kind that lives in your chest like a quiet knowing, the kind that stands steady in chaos, the kind that comes from remembering who walks beside you. You've crossed into something sacred, you've touched the hem of a divine garment. And the healing has already begun. Every word you've heard was planted like a seed, and your soul is fertile ground. The growth won't always be visible at first, but it will come, it will break through. And when it does, it won't just change your life, it will bless everyone around you. Because that's the power of a soul aligned. It becomes a lighthouse, a beacon, a reminder to the world that heaven still speaks, that angels still walk among us, and that miracles still happen, through ordinary hearts made holy by hope. And you, yes, you are one of those hearts. One of the ones who stayed, one of the ones who chose to believe, one of the ones heaven is moving for, even now. There is more coming, more light, more clarity, more divine intervention, in places you once thought were beyond hope. Stay ready, stay open, stay soft. You are not done, you are just unfolding. But it always was. So here's the final piece, the seal, the signature from heaven, on this divine message that was hand-delivered to your soul. From this moment on, every room you enter will shift. Not because you'll speak louder, but because you'll carry heaven's silence. Not because you'll prove yourself, but because you'll remember yourself. Not because you'll have it all figured out, but because you'll finally trust the one who does. And Michael, he's not leaving after this, no, he'll walk beside you, through this next season. You'll start to feel his presence more often now. In the way things align, in the way the right words come at the right time, in the way peace suddenly floods your chest, like a tide of grace. That's him, that's how heaven says, we are with you. And that person who left this message from the other side, they'll keep showing up too. Not to haunt, but to guide, not to pull you back, but to walk you forward. You'll see them in dreams, in music, in those moments where your heart suddenly swells, and you have no idea why. That's how the soul remembers, what the mind forgot, that's how love keeps speaking, when words can no longer be formed. So now take a breath, let your chest rise, not with fear, but with readiness. Your miracle has already started. Archangel Michael has already made the way. And you are the light that's been sent to rise. Let it rise, let it rise, let it rise. Yes, beloved. One final breath, one last ripple of heaven's voice, flowing straight into the deepest chamber of your soul. You've come this far, and that means something sacred is already at work in you. Don't rush this final piece, let it fall over you like light, spilling through clouds, soft and sure. You are still being spoken to. There is something else, Archangel Michael wants you to remember. Something so simple, and yet so easily forgotten, in the noise of the world. You are not behind. Let that fall into you like a sacred truth. You are not late, you are not lost, you are not too far gone, and your destiny has not expired. Time in heaven doesn't work the way it does here. God doesn't measure worth in hours or years. He measures it in courage, in tears, in the quiet choice to try again. And every time you chose to take one more step, even the smallest one, heaven recorded it. Nothing is wasted, not the heartbreak, not the delay, not even the moments you collapsed in exhaustion, and said I can't do this anymore. Archangel Michael was standing over you in those moments. He didn't move, he didn't flinch. Because warriors of light aren't punished for getting tired, they're honored for rising again. You rose again. And now the reward begins. But this reward is not a transaction, it's not something you earn, for being good enough. You are always enough. This is not payment, this is return. Return of peace, return of balance, return of sacred energy, to a soul who kept showing up, even in silence. So if you feel things changing around you, in the days ahead, don't be surprised. If old wounds rise up, just to finally fall away, don't be afraid. If someone new appears in your life, and it feels like they've known you forever, don't doubt it. You're moving into the season of sacred connection, divine appointments, answers to questions you almost gave up asking. Michael says, the veil has been lifted, not fully, but enough for the light to flood through. And that's why your spirit feels different now, softer, warmer, braver, because it's remembering how it felt to be loved by heaven again. And when you sleep tonight, you will not sleep alone. You will be watched over. The angels, your angels, will surround your space. You might feel tingles on your skin, a strange weight on the blanket, a warmth on your forehead, or maybe a dream so vivid, it makes you cry in your sleep. These are not just sensations, these are divine appointments. Don't dismiss them, wake up slowly, write it down, thank them. And when fear tries to creep in again, as it always does, just whisper this, Archangel Michael, I remember now, I remember who I am. Walk with me. That's enough. He will answer, every time. This was never just a message, it was a soul activation. It was the spiritual version of someone you loved, lighting a candle and placing it in your hands, from the other side. It was the moment heaven leaned in, and said, you forgot, but we never did. So take this light with you now, speak differently, walk differently, pray differently, because you are different. You're awake now, and the world is about to feel the shift in your energy. Not because you shouted louder, but because your presence will carry divine weight. The kind of weight that cannot be explained, the kind of light that cannot be denied. You've become a vessel now, a carrier of something holy. And that person in heaven, they are smiling. Not a sad smile, not a grieving smile, a proud one, a joyful one, a peaceful one. They know you finally heard them. You heard their whisper, riding on Michael's wings, you answered the call, and heaven is celebrating. So now go forward, let the blessing unfold. And if you ever forget again, come back to this, reopen it, reread it. Let it speak to you all over again. Because this isn't a one-time message, this is a forever truth, and forever is just beginning. Amen.